Welcome back to the Esports Report presented by the Xbox One. Mr. X, Maven, waiting for this first game to get kicked off. It's going to be OpTic Gaming versus EnVy. Got a quick update, Maven. The vetoed host for this one will be Scump and Octane. Don't know if that'll make a difference, but do you expect Scump? You know, he's playing from West Coast now. Then Octane, not really sure where he lives, but you know, pretty dominant on his host. I think for this game, you'll probably see formal host, I guess, for OpTic. And then on the side for EnVy, you'll probably see Aqua, I think, host.
Yeah, speaking, does Scump, who, I mean, Formal I know used to host him a lot. Is Scump been the one doing it recently since he's been on the West Coast?
Well, I mean, they're both on the West Coast.
Yeah, I know, but Formal's
so it's like pick your poison between Scump and...
No, Formal has like the best internet in the entire world.
Yeah.
Some like crazy government internet. I played like Halo on it a year ago from the East Coast. I thought I was playing on a server like next door. He one pings to his connection like it's the best West Coast connection of all time.
Yeah, Formal's connection is pretty good. But just give you a quick rundown of the rosters in Season 3, just to keep you guys up to date. Some of you guys just joining in right now. Gonna start things up. OpTic Gaming, obviously we know it's gonna be Scump, Crim, Karma, and Formal. And these guys so dominant, Maven, throughout Advanced Warfare. Do you see them slowing down anytime soon?
I don't really. They've been completely crushing throughout. I just don't see any way that they're going to slow down. Again, unless it's an internal thing, I just don't see any issues they're going to be having. Do we know what's going on? Are we just waiting for the players to get in right now? Are we having connection issues, or everyone just getting
just waiting for all the players to get set up. You have EnVy, obviously Octane, JCap, Aqua, and Looney. Going to be looking to see if they can improve. You know, EnVy has a brand. They haven't had the greatest, Advanced Warfare. Going to be looking to see if this is the roster that can improve it. I think the pickups of, Aqua and Octane, pretty good for this EnVy lineup. Going to be looking at them tonight.
It's interesting, though, because the struggles they had at relegation, that Prophecy team, just thinking about, a lot of people were giving kind of Aqua the blame to a degree. Because, Prophecy, it's not really... If people aren't getting hill time, he's the guy sitting behind. He's the one putting down the big AR kills, not really pushing forward, playing in the hard point. Aqua took a bit of flack for that being his role. I think Ake should have taken some of the blame as well. But now seeing them both in this roster, I know you and I have talked. I think Octane, when it just comes to one of your raw natural slayers, he's a top guy. I think he's going to completely crush.
Oh, I think Octane is definitely going to crush. I think people, he's been going under the radar a little bit. I would say, playing with, Justice, then Prop. Now, with EnVy, going to expect to see big things out of him all Season 3 long. I think he's going to be a player a lot of people are going to have as a household name after this season's over. We can actually show you guys the maps for their matchup tonight. We can bring that up. It's obviously no CTF here in Season 3. It's one of the biggest changes coming in. Are you a fan of that, Maven? Getting rid of CTF?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that considering my favorite match I've ever really casted was definitely the one between OpTic and E6. I think that was probably far and away the most fun I've ever had casting. But when it boils down to it, 90% of your CTF games were pretty slow. They weren't all that fun to cast a lot of times.
Yeah.
I think from a viewer standpoint, there was just a lot of standoffs, man, a lot of flag returns. It's just not as controllable a game type as it was in former titles. So yeah, I'm glad to see it go away, even though hardpoint can be incredibly hectic at times and it just becomes this kind of fast-paced sprint warfare. I still think there's a lot more that goes into it compared to your CTF.
Well, I just invited you to the game, Maven. The first one's going to be Detroit Hardpoint in this series. Thoughts on this one? I think this is one that you're going to see Scump go absolutely massive on.
Yeah, I think Scump certainly going to go huge on this one. Form will be able to lock it down with the AR. I don't know how EnVy's going to keep up in this one, but to be fair, this EnVy roster, I haven't really seen them play yet, but when it comes to, I mean, they've got a talented bunch, man.
Yeah, EnVy has all the talent to make things happen. Going to be hard for them going up against OpTic Gaming tonight. And you're going to see, we were talking about Detroit Hardpoint. That's going to be map number 1. Map number 2 is going to be a Solar S&D. Game 3 is going to be a Biolab uplink. You're going to have Drift Hardpoint. Game number 4, something new, added to the rotation. And then Recovery S&D coming back into the map rotation here in Season 3. It's going to be a Game 5. I think this one doesn't even go that long, Maven.
No, this potentially, I mean, the only thing that we can talk about OpTic struggling a bit, and I know we say it all the time, they're either a very good S&D team or they're kind of average. Just boils down to how effectively they trade. They can be among the best at doing that. I think that's the only map I'd really worry about them losing. But again, this is online. We're switching host. Anything can happen online, that's for sure. But OpTic has proved throughout the last couple of seasons it doesn't really matter whether they're online or on land, they're leading the way.
And I believe it's going to be OpTic's host here for game number 1. It's going to be formal hosting for OpTic Gaming, which we both kind of expected. Once you saw Scump's host, that was vetoed. You'd expect formal to host. And OpTic Gaming, one of the only teams with 3 West Coast players, at least for now. You're going to have Scump on the West Coast, formal on West Coast, and Karma. The game's loading up. We can jump right into this one. Maven, you're going to be looking at Octane, I think, from EnVy. And then who are you going to be looking at this side from OpTic Gaming go big tonight?
Tonight, or in this first game, are we talking here?
Tonight.
Tonight, overall, I'm looking for my man Formal. You know, he was known in Halo as one of the best online players of all time. I see him going big in this one for sure, locking it down with the bow. I'm looking for him to have big numbers. And, I mean, it's kind of hard to pick with this OpTic lineup, isn't it? Who's going to go off each night? That's what's so scary. All of them can do it.
Well, you look, I think a map like Detroit definitely fits Scump's playstyle.
Yeah.
The best out of any of the guys. I mean, he's going to be able to get up in your face with the aggressive SMG. We can jump on board with Scump first. As we're kicking off Season 3 here, it's going to be OpTic Gaming going up against EnVy. The 2 of the biggest brands, 2 if not the biggest brands in Call of Duty, facing off on night number 1. Can't get much better than that, maybe.
All right, who are you going to kick things off with here, bud?
I'm on board with Scump.
All right, let's start off with Scump. He's already got one pushing mid Atlas here. We'll see if he can get done. He's going to get picked off through mid window. But, I mean, this one, I just don't know. I mean, this EnVy side, I guess, talk to me. What do you like to it? Who's going to be leading the way for them tonight?
Well, JCap, he's going to be the in-game leader for this EnVy lineup. Going to be looking at him. He's going to be running the SMG and the AR on and off. And then you're going to have Aqua and Octane, really those 2 explosive slayers. And I think Looney, it's going to be the first organization. I don't think really, TK, he was never really going to become the face of that team. It's always going to be Sharp. But, with this EnVy lineup now, you really say Looney is kind of the face of the EnVy brand.
Yeah, and they've had, you got to think, ever since they really got into CS, Hasser's obviously been all over the place. He's been traveling across the globe, trying to juggle both here between putting together a dominant team here and also working with his new CS roster. And it just seems like the changes they've made recently here to EnVy haven't really panned out. They haven't got this core 4 together. They tried to go with veteran players. You saw them do that over the past, 6 months or so, trying to go with veteran leaders. Now they've decided, hey, let's pick up some young guns, see what they can do, see if we can really rely on young talent, and that's what I'm excited to see.
Yeah, and it's going to be EnVy jumping out to a big lead here at the start, 41-16. OpTic going to be controlling the hill on board with Octane. He's going to be putting down some shots with the bow in back alley. You see Formal getting off to a nice start for OG, 7-4. Karma, he's going to be the one struggling. We'll jump on board with him, see what's going on. He's going to have 3 players pushing him in the front. He's going to take one out inside green. But OpTic, they haven't played a lot too much together in the past weeks. Do you think that's going to hurt them here in this first series against EnVy?
A little bit, yeah. I think they've been playing. It seems like a decent amount of 8s have been going on. Guys have been playing different games. They haven't had their full 4 together for, when was the last time all 4 of them played a 2K or 5K? I mean, it's been quite a while. I know they didn't play together this weekend. I think it was Scump that was sitting out yesterday. I think we'll see a little bit. I imagine halfway through this game we'll really see them to start rolling though. And like I said, I expected Formal to have a big game. He was on a 3 streak there, and he's leading the way at 10-6.
Yeah, Krim trying to break those spawns in the back. He's going to get cut down. Going to go on board with Scump. He's going to be watching those side stairs, has players all around him for EnVy. You see everyone on EnVy going to be flooding in towards this garage hardpoint. It's going to be Octane picking up Scump in the hard point. It's going to be EnVy taking it back here. 20 seconds left on Garage. Still a lot of time you can get here, Maven. If you're EnVy, you don't give this up anytime soon.
No, and I'm watching Octane, who's got it locked down the back here. He's covering back ramp. He's able to pick up one. That was Scump. He's going to get forced by another player as well, but he's able to hold that back. And they've got this locked down. It doesn't even look like the players are going to push it all. They're just going to give up that scrap time, give them the final 15 or so, and now they've rotated out. And the battle here for the hard point looks like it's going to be also won by EnVy. So Looney picks up 2. Cap gets 1 as well. Looney actually gets a monstrous 3-piece there to shut it down.
Yeah, Looney on a 4 streak. I was on board with him as soon as he rotated. Going to give EnVy this early back yellow control, and EnVy could you know, even double up the score of OpTic Gaming here if they were able to take the rest of this time on this hill. It'd be huge for them. You see Aqua, he's going to be in the hill. Octane in the back, locking down the spawns with the AR. He's going to get dropped. Was on a 5 streak. Aqua is going to be jumping in a window. He's going to get taken out. So nades flying in for OpTic Gaming. What is OpTic Gaming going to need to do better here, Maven, you know, towards the second half of this game to make that comeback?
Have everyone pick it up, really. I mean, outside of Formal, look at this. You have double negative Karma, double negative Crim pretty much as well. And Scump even struggling off the break, a map that you expect him to go off on. I think it's mostly, especially on their host, if they're struggling like this, I think it's just pretty much the fact that, like you said, they haven't been playing together a ton. I expect they're going to pick it up, but EnVy looking very, very strong, and that's going to be Looney leading the way. I think it's pretty safe to assume it's one of the West Coast hosts. I don't think Karma ever does it, so it should be Formal. I got to think it's him.
No, it is Formal's host. Talk about that
Formal.
pregame.
Okay,
Yep,
okay.
It is Formal's host. It's going to be Looney in the hill for EnVy. He's going to have 2 players coming in from the front. He's going to get dropped. Formal playing very good. You see him switching over to the SMG. I think even if he decided to run his stuff full time, maybe I think he still would be one of the best players in Advanced Warfare. Just a freak across all video games. One of the best console FPS players in history.
Yeah, I mean, you saw him, I know it was all subs pretty much throughout, but whether he had MTAR or was a Vector throughout Ghost, he still put up huge numbers. This has been obviously only his 2nd title, but really the only one he's run pretty much strictly a rifle on. And I'm not surprised to see Looney doing really well. Obviously, he's going to be West Coast as well, so he's going to be connecting to this server really well. And to this host, you'll see him putting up big numbers as well. But right now, the lead's starting to disappear a little bit. They're coming back now as OpTic. They're only really getting the scrap time, though, has been the issue here for this final hard point, but they're only trailing now by 15, Matt.
Yeah, and OpTic's going to get control of this, you know, Atlas hardpoint, Maven. And you see the guys starting to heat up. Scump on a 4 streak, make it 5. If he starts to heat up, this is not going to be a good sign for EnVy. You know, EnVy played so good in the first half and not even up by that much, as you see OG about to take the lead here any second. It's going to be OpTic Gaming taking the lead here against EnVy. They're going to jump right back into the hill. Scump still on your screen. He's going to get shut down, but the play of Formal and Scump too much, even for a great 4-man effort from EnVy here in this first hardpoint.
I'm watching Scump now as he's basically covering the outside. He's eventually going to get dropped. Who do we still have in? We have Formal and Karma, and Formal's at 27 and 18, and he's trying to watch the backside too, able to pick up one more. One drops in as well. Scump cleans that up, and eventually he will fall. But just like that, what did I say? I think I said halfway through the game, I think they'd start to pick it up and take over. It was pretty much exactly.
You're a genius, Maven. You're a modern-day genius.
You know, it's difficult to be this intelligent, man.
Right, I'm on board with JCap, though, Maven. I'm going to be on board with him because he's going to be pushing this back trailer, trying to get these spawns for EnVy. They want to come back. They want to take this hill. Going to try and get tons of time here. JCap's going to put some shots down on Formal. They're going to be able to take him out. You see his team going to spawn in the back by school. EnVy should be able to break this, attacking through the front. Some great plays by JCap.
And right now you had 2 up for either side. You saw on the kill feed, it was Formal picking up yet another 2 more, still leading all Slayers. They're 32 and 21. And now they're trying to break in. I'm watching Formal now. He's going to have an engagement in the back of the hard point. He's able to win that. Finally will drop, but it will lead to OpTic control for the time being. But that was Looney that came in. He's had so many big kills in and around the hard point, and they're trying to climb back in this one. Is what was once, what, a 40-point advantage or so for EnVy, is now OpTic controlled. Yeah,
you see OpTic, they're going to elect to rotate over towards Garage. JCap had a huge battle versus Karma. Karma's actually going to drop, holding that back spawn. It's going to be up to Crim to hold this for OpTic Gaming. He's going to kill Octane. Top glass is another player pushing him to his left. That's going to be JCap, so big kills coming out of EnVy. It's going to be up to Scump. Hold down this ramp for OpTic Gaming. He's going to get stunned. Players pushing from all directions. Formal, the last one alive for OpTic in the hill. He's going to get taken out. Crim trying to push in. He's going to drop as well. So EnVy, they're able to break this off the start, Maven. They have to challenge these players in Garage, though, really clear it out to get this time.
Yeah, watch Cap's the one trying to deal with back ramp. He was able to get one, though. Couldn't take the second. I think it was Aqua there to clean it up. So for the time being, they've got control. Looney dives in. He falls. It's Crim coming up with big kill after big kill. He allows Formal to come up back ramp as well, and they're able to break that. So OpTic takes control. Aqua now trying to come in the counter. He gets a 2-piece, got a third at back ramp, and he will fall. So 20-second advantage right now for OpTic. 2 minutes left. In the scrap time, it looks like it's going to be Karma that's able to pick that up.
Yeah, and Crim, he's rotated to the next hill. He's going to be able to pick up 2, has another player in front of him, but those 2 kills are huge. Kills on rotation, Maven, mean more than anything. I mean, you know, obviously it's great to be able to hold that hill, but when the hill's starting to rotate to the next one, you pick up those kills. Those are massive. He's actually going to be able to pick up 4 there, but his teammate's going to drop in the back. It's going to be EnVy able to get control. We're going to go on board with Scump as he's pushing through the front of the hill with 2 teammates. It's going to be hard for OpTic to take this back, and as I say that, you see Formal with a big 2-piece in the kill feed. Scump going over towards window. He's going to be able to pick up 1. OpTic should be able to hold this as you see Formal and Karma going big in the hill.
Yeah, Formal, I think they're picking up 3 or 4 there as they were pushing in from the back doorway. Cleaned it up on a 4 streak now. He's 43 and 27. There's a couple out mid-alley they're going to be trying pushing now, and that was going to be Octane. So Octane's going to try and come in. Formal wins that gunfight, taking advantage of the host right now as he's out to 44, leading all Slayers by, what, 11 over the closest guy.
Yeah, Looney rotates to the next hill. He's going to have 1 player in window. That's Scump. He's going to get taken out, but Formal way too strong here in this first hardpoint for OpTic Gaming. I mean, Octane on your screen now trying to pick up some kills. You know, you look at the AR players for these 2 teams. You said that was going to be the difference in this series. Octane, 25 and 27, running the battle the entire game. Formal switches it up, goes with the SMG, and he just catches fire. Maven, you see him pull out the bow here for this last hill, but Formal with a dominant performance here in map number 1.
Yeah, and that's what you need. I mean, especially when you're playing online. If you're going to have hosts, and obviously it's going to alternate here, your host needs to go off. That's a big part of it. You have to get big numbers out of that player. And, I mean, he was pretty much leading since the break. I mean, led throughout the first hard point, and here you see him. He's going to potentially drop a 50 bomb if he can pick up 1 more. And, oh no, he's only actually got 5 seconds to do it. We'll see if there will be a 50 bomb in our first game of the Season 3 League. And no, there's not going to be. 49 will be the current record here as we start off a new season.
49 is kind of good though, Maven. I think you still take that. It's going to be 224 to 198 in favor of OpTic Gaming. Krim in the final kill cam here. You got a decent performance out of Aqua, 37-32. Looney, 35 and 34, 13 caps. Really just needed more out of Octane and JCap there. You are the guys on EnVy, but a pretty good performance out of them. Gonna have map number 2 coming up right after this.